Hey everybody! So I'm going to show you how I do my vegan food prep. It's not very different from how I do my regular food prep. I have a video on YouTube that shows you how to do food prep if you're someone who eats animal meat products as well. But specifically, since you guys are going vegan, I wanted to give you some tips and tricks on what I do to set myself up for success, because it is Sunday. I always recommend doing food prep on Sunday and then on at least one other day of the week. I am a single person, so I have a significant other, but I don't have kids or anybody else that I really have to worry about. So I don't have to make a lot of food at once. So it's kind of a blessing for me. But it's going to look different for everybody based on how many people you are preparing for. But I'm going to show you not just some of the stuff that I'm preparing, but also some of my other favorite things that you can tap into. So first things first, let me show you what we've got. So I have taken, actually there's two other sweet potatoes, and I've chopped those down into cubes. There is a bunch of broccoli that I've chopped down. I always have a big thing of organic spinach every week that we go through in this house. I made a homemade hummus, which I posted the recipe for the other day. I can give you the recipe for it. It's super duper easy. You can just use canned beans for it. I'm going to show you what I do with golden beets as well as with zucchini and how to make zucchini noodles. And then there's some jicama as well that you can use for jicama sticks for snacks. So, ultimately what I do with vegan food prep, it's not that much different than anything else. The whole idea is setting yourself up for success and having something healthy to grab when you go into your fridge. Because if you come home after a long day and you're hungry and you open your refrigerator, you're going to grab whatever you can see, whatever's in front, whatever's convenient, whatever is already done. So a couple of my tips: one is always, when you prepare your food, to put it in glass jars, because when you have glass jars, especially with vibrant colored foods in them, it's going to be really easy for you to want to reach for them if they're in the front of the refrigerator. So anything that is your significant others, your kids, or anything that you know that you would be super tempted by that is not healthy, you can just push that all the way into the back of the refrigerator if it's not something that you're getting rid of. Same thing with the pantry, just push it all the way to the back of the pantry. If it's not seen, it will be forgotten about. I do the same for all the things that I'm snacking. Like, you can cut red bell peppers, yellow bell pepper, orange bell peppers. This is jicama. So you can have those available and really easy to grab. You can scoop hummus with it, salsa, guacamole. I also have these big Pyrex. I have a bunch of different sizes in these Pyrex bowls, which are amazing to have. Again, it's glass, so it's environmentally friendly, but also you can see fresh food, and then you'll want to grab fresh food. So this is how simple food prep is, you guys. I'm not going to roast anything. I'm not going to have to use any crazy oils. I'm not going to have to even think about, like, is that a refined oil? Is that good for me? Is that bad for me? I'm going to steam it all. So I have this little steamer basket. It is so old, it doesn't even have the little rubber stoppers on it anymore. So someone might classify this as like my ghetto steamer. But this is what I cook everything in. You're going to take a pot. I've got an inch of water in the pot. You're going to drop your steamer basket in the pot. And then whatever you're cooking, you're going to drop in. So if you're doing your broccoli, you're going to drop it in. If you're doing more than one in one pot, you're going to want to cook, you're going to want to put whatever in the pot is going to take the longest amount to cook. So if I were to cook my broccoli and my sweet potatoes together, I would just put the sweet potatoes in the pot first, so that once everything was done, or once whatever was done on top, let's see, I check it and the broccoli's done because I put it on top, I can just go in and take all the broccoli out, put it in a jar, continue to cook the sweet potatoes. Alternately, if you have more kitchen stuff, if you have lots and lots of pots, and you have lots and lots of burners and things like that, you can obviously have multiple pots going at the same time. I have a small kitchen. It's very, very tiny. I live in a small space. It's really easy for me it's easy for me to collect a lot of stuff that I don't need, but I prefer to live minimally. And so I have a lot of nice kitchen stuff, and then I have a lot of just like cheap kitchen stuff. And I'll tell you what, some of my cheap kitchen things are my favorites. So all of that is already in there. Those are the sweet potatoes. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start my sweet potatoes, and then I'm going to pull them out. Once they're cooked, I'll put them away, and then I will fill it back up with new water, and put the broccoli in and steam that. Those are the only 2 vegetables that I will be steaming today. Everything else is going to be raw. So like I said, I already have this hummus. If this was 1 can of garbanzo beans, 1 can of Great Northern beans, I always use organic beans. You can also soak and cook your own beans. This is just from canned beans. 1½ lemons, 3 tablespoons of tahini. I used coconut aminos. Those of you that have my Buddha Bowl ebook, if you haven't got it yet, go and fish it out of the files and get it because it's amazing. My favorite dressing recipe is just my basic tahini dressing or the curry tahini dressing, which is coconut aminos, organic tahini, lemon, and then whatever flavoring you want. Like cumin's really good in it, curry's really good in it. You can play with the ratios. There's probably an equation in there of how many tablespoons of each, but I just do everything by eyeball. And if you're watching my Buddha bowls and you like how my Buddha bowls look, I always put some sort of kraut on them. I love color in my bowls. This one is a Middle Eastern kraut. You can get a beet kraut. Those ones are pink. I often get sprouts because sprouts have a lot of healing qualities. This one is a sprout salad, so it has, you know, broccoli sprouts and alfalfa sprouts and all sorts of different mung bean sprouts. So I really enjoy those as well. And sprouts have a lot of enzymatic and protein quality as well in them. Okay, so I'm going to show you, obviously I'm not going to show you how to steam your sweet potatoes and steam your broccoli because you're an adult and I think you can figure that out. But I am going to show you how I zoodle my noodles and how I break down my beets. So there's 2 ways that I do beets. One, I either chop beets and then I steam them, which will look like this, right? So you've got little cubes. So it's really easy. You just chop a beet, you cut it, and you put it in a steamer. I'm telling you, everything's steamed. It takes no time. Turns out perfect. No added fats, no nothing. Great, great, great nutrition. The other thing that I do is I grate beets because I like raw beets. Not everybody does. I like to put these in my Buddha bowls a lot. So if you have a food processor, this is the easiest way to do it. I was looking all over for my grater attachment and I couldn't find it. So I'm going to show you the way that you can do it without a food processor. You use a box grater, you guys. I mean, this is elementary, right? You just grate your food. It doesn't take a whole lot. What ends up happening, it takes no time. It's going to look like little things of cheese. So, you know, little shreds of cheese. So if you have something that you're making that you want to mimic the look of cheese, like a fun little nacho dish or something, you could always do, like raw nachos, you could always do something like that in it. But essentially all I'm going to do with this beet is I'm going to continue to grate it down because I can't find my dang grater attachment on my food processor, and then I'll have that in that little glass jar to add to my bowls. I also took this jicama. I'm going to cut down the rest of it. I've got jicama sticks like I showed you. I'm going to cut down the rest so I have another jar of jicama sticks. And the other thing I want to show you is how to zoodle your zucchini noodles. So you can buy a spiruli, you can buy a spiralizer, you can buy the Joyce Chen. I have a Joyce Chen. I've had it for years. It's crap. I'm not dissing the Joyce Chen at all because I used it, but it's janky. It was $30, you know, and I bought it probably like 10 years ago. So the bottom and the top are all stuck together and whatever. What I have found over the years is when I'm zoodling my noodles, I do one of 2 things. I either use a regular peeler, which if you do it, it's going to make flat noodles, which are great for pad thai, or the way I get these spaghetti-like noodles is that I use a julienne peeler. So julienne peelers just have those little teeth in it, and it's so simple, you guys, to zoodle a noodle. You always want to obviously not cut your fingers, and you're going to go from away from you towards you, and you press down and you just peel. And it's you literally peel a zucchini. It takes no time. So you just want to peel it down to where you start to see the seed. It'll get a little bit harder to peel at that point. And then you'll have all these great noodles, and then you can put them in your jar, and you have all these zucchini noodles already made that you can use and you don't even have to do. But honestly, I do my food prep like really light like this because this sort of food, when I'm eating vegan, I tend to do a lot of raw with it as well, and it's just so fast to make meals that there's no reason for me to go overboard on my food prep. Those of you that are doing beans, if you're not doing canned beans, you're going to want to soak your beans, rinse them really, really well, and then cook them. Same with grain. Soak your grain first, rinse it really, really well, and then cook it. And the soaking times, depend. If you're just doing grain, you can soak your grain for like a half an hour. It'll cook a lot faster. It helps to get off the phytic enzyme, the enzyme inhibitor that's on there. So it'll be easier to assimilate and digest in your body. And you won't have that toxin, because that's actually a toxin, so you won't have that on it. So I think that's the bulk of what I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully this helps you out to make some really, really great stuff. And ultimately, again, you know, all I want you to be able to do is to open your refrigerator every single day and be like, great, I can pull out, you know, I've got these, my bowl that I do, this one I use in all my photos. This one's from Target. It is there's some beet on it. Hopefully I just put that on there. It wasn't from my amazing dishwashing skills, which, you know, everything about me, you'll know that I have horrible dishwashing skills. But it's a very big bowl. So a lot of times, like even in my photos, I'll fill these things with vegetables. I won't even eat the whole plate. And then I'll put some of my vegetables back in a jar and put it in the fridge and use it for my next meal. So I think if you're looking at some of my plates and you're like, whoa, that's a big meal. Yeah, because I don't always eat everything that's on my plate. But it's super easy, because once you have all this stuff pre-done, all you're going to do is, if you're using the measuring containers, you're going to measure it so you know exactly how much of each macro you can have. But I mean, that's a meal. You stick it in, you take your broccoli, it's done, you stick it in, you take your hummus and scoop it in, and you've got a big, beautiful plate already set up for you. So that's my goal, is to have you guys just super, super fast being able to make food on the fly. So if you're making food for your family that is not vegan, and it's not, I mean, why aren't you feeding your family this stuff? This is like life food. So first of all, you should be feeding your family this stuff. If you're going to eat it, they should be eating it. But two, if you're not, for whatever reason, every household is different. I know me and my beau, we eat different things. We eat some of the same and some of the different things too. So if you're not, just make sure that you're at least set up for success, so that as you're prepping for your family, that's probably going to take longer, I have a feeling, than what you're going to have to make for yourself as a vegan. So I think that about wraps it up, you guys. I know, so fast, right? Fatima's like, I love it, it's so fast. Raina, I miss your face too. You guys are so sweet. So any questions you guys have on food prep, just post them below and I'll do my best to answer you. But keep it simple. You know that saying, keep it simple, stupid? It's so true. Those of you that are still transitioning and you're not 100% vegan yet, again, look for sustainably sourced things. If you're getting eggs, look for pastured raised eggs. Go to your local farmer's market. Get to know the people. Be that weird Portlandia person that's like, what's the egg's name? Like, be that person. Who cares? Know where your food comes from. And then also look for sustainably sourced seafood as well. And you know, if you're ready to rock it, you guys, you're ready to rock it. I'm on day 7 today, and I'll tell you, I've been doing the vegan with intermittent fasting. You know, I have my Shakeology every single day. You know, I do my workouts every single day. I do at least 30 minutes. Sometimes I do 60 broken into 2 30-minute segments. And my energy has been through the roof. I've been sleeping better than I have ever. And literally, like yesterday, I was antsy. I'm like, Andy, we got to go do something right now. I have so much energy. I don't even know what to do with it. So I don't think that's any coincidence that I'm eating such high vibration food and my body is raised to a whole, you know, another level. So hopefully you guys are experiencing that too. Have an awesome rest of your day. Food prep. Press play. If you haven't already tried your first workout, make sure you look at the last video that I uploaded for you guys. It walks you through exactly how to get on bod, how to access my exact fitness routine. The fitness routine that I did last month, I did for 21 days. I got insane results from. It is doubles, but that only means an hour a day broken up into 2 half-an-hour segments. One day was a recovery workout, so it was super chill. Some of the workouts are low impact, some of them are cardio. I got my best results ever from that calendar. So I want you guys to do it and check it out. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Have an awesome day, you guys. Love to see you, and I'll catch you mañana. Bye, guys.